This is the CRO one-year overview reading for the year 2024. It's currently June 18th, 2023, 10:57 p.m. Eastern Time. CRO at the time of this reading is currently 0.05372, or just over 5 cents USD. And the shuffle file we're about to play, which was created on June 16th, 2023 at 9:54 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this video right here. So the overall theme and behavior for the year of 2024, we have a notable decline increasing with momentum moving forward in time. It is, however, crossed with the end of a period of decline marked by a fast, sudden move higher. And it looks like we may actually have a couple of instances where there's the end of a decline with a fast, sudden move higher, and then we go back into decline a little bit later. But we'll get into that in more detail when we go into the week-by-week chart behavior. Behavior around the highest high. We have a sideways fluctuating rally that precedes a notable decline. That's on the scale of a one-year chart. And then behavior around the lowest low. We should have an important technical price level highlighted around the low, and volume should kind of like flatten out near the lows. Before we go any further, let's take a look and see how we did, or what we've got on the 10-year here. All right, so when we're looking at the 10-year chart, right, this is pretty accurate. We have a high correlation here in 2021. Here at the end of 2021, we have a high in 2022. Just at the edge, really, it's in 2023, but we have this low correlation here. And again, keep in mind you have to give it a little bit of wiggle room. But what we're seeing here is this establishment of support in the power card, all of this behavior here. So we haven't seen this prominent move higher followed by a full retracement of that move that we have as the art card in 2023. So we're probably going to see a notable move higher towards the second half of 2023, and then a notable move back down. Possibly, it looks like we might even come like out of a high from 2023. Either there's a high for the year of 2024 here in January, or we come out of a higher price level in late 2023, and we decline into out of that into 2024. There's a notable decline there throughout January, taking us to a trough or low for the year. Not a lowest low, but it'll be a significant trough or low that stands out there towards the end of January. Off of the low, we should see a pop and drop, and possibly even that low would take us to the high again. But we have decline all the way into actually February, and then there's like this notable move higher out of the trough, pushing the upper end of a range higher there, and meeting a key technical price level in early, maybe like the first or second week of February, followed by a sharp decline off of the high that's created there for the month to another trough or low. That'll stand out again like mid-February. That'll stand out on a one-year chart. And then we have an sort of improbable opportunity and a big move back to the upside towards the end of February. We attempt to establish support. Oh, and there's also a trade opportunity both at the high in January and the high in February. My sense is that they're probably very close to the same price levels. But I'll talk about the trades and what I see and how to enter and exit in the paid version, which you can get on our website, Tarot for Traders, guys, if you're interested in the trades. But with that said, we're establishing support here in early March, and there should be price swings. Maybe we have two highs, maybe one on the highs for the month of March, I should say. Maybe one on the cusp of February, March, and then another one here towards the end of March, or maybe there's two here at the end of March that'll stand out. With sideways rotation increasing with bullish momentum as we move forward through the month of March. And there should be a notable move higher reaching for a distant resistance as we leave March and enter into April. That decline might actually continue into April. It's hard to say. It either ends in March and there's a notable move higher there into April, or we have a notable move higher in March and then we do some more decline here in early April. But I think probably we move higher out of the low that we see towards the end of March into what may be another highest high. There's some probability of this being a highest high for the year again, but it's if it's not a highest high, it's going to be a very prominent high that stands out. And we should do some sideways rotation around the high. There should be a significant drop off of that high, oversold crest or peak that we sell off from pretty notably. with some unicursal energy there. It looks like there's a failed attempt to break through key resistance, followed by a decline through key support there. And there may be some rallying in May that offers opportunity to trade as well. There's a lot of trade opportunity here in April and May. I'll talk about in the paid version. And we do some more sideways rotation, maybe with a pop and drop there towards the end of May. But there is a notable bit of a decline maybe in the third week, especially maybe in the third week. And then looks like that decline probably continues into June, where we have a prominent trough for the year standing out towards the end of June, where we'll have a decline through multiple support levels that take us into the trough here at the end of June, and then out of that oversold territory we should have a prominent move higher, really standing out on a 1 year, and the upper end of the range for June is going to be at an important the top of an important range on a on a 1 year kind of scale. Looks like we got some retracement. Matter of fact, in July, we have a prominent move higher and a failed attempt to break through key resistance as we move into like late January, followed by a decline July, followed by a decline off of that peak or crest there in late July, down to and through support. We do a U-shaped reversal below that support, come back and reuse it as support, and we may have a lowest low here. It's possible that there's a lowest low here in early August. But off of the low in July, we should have a fast sudden move higher. And it's important to point out here, this Five of Cups is a failed attempt to break through key resistance that we already attempted to break through, and it looks like probably at the highs here in May. So this might be the same price levels as the highs here in April, May. But we should see a failed attempt to break through it, even though technicals would lead us to believe that we're going to break through. Instead, we decline through key support into a trough after a lot of decline around the cusp of July, August. There's a lowest low or a trough. Kind of erratic behavior back and forth in the early part of August. We visit a crest. We meet a crest at resistance. We meet a resistance level that's important on a multi-day kind of scale, and we break down from that resistance level consecutively, lower spikes up on the way down. But it's pretty erratic. It's like we fall from a high in June into a low in August, and then we bounce back, but not as high as before, and then there's some more decline. But then around the cusp. Okay, so first off, in the second week of August, there should be a fast sudden move higher. In the first week of August, a decline. And then it looks like towards the end, around the cusp of August, September, we have another prominent move higher after establishing support along key support level. That rally takes us into a peak or crest on the cusp of the first or second week of September, where that rally ends, and there's a notable decline standing out on a multi-day scale, kind of like mid-September, taking us to a trough, not like necessarily a lowest low, but a trough, and then we do a little bit of rallying as we enter out of September into October, but that's halted by a decline through key support level, taking us into what may this is the most likely location, I think, of a lowest low. But we may see the lowest low more than once. It's kind of like back and forth mixed behavior throughout the year, and we have this pop at the end of the year to the upside again. So most likely a lowest low here in like the second week of October, followed by a rally into November, where in mid-November we should see a lot of price change there in November to the upside. And then around like the second or third week, probably the third week of November, there's a notable decline on a multi-day kind of scale, or on a 1 year kind of scale, off of a peak or crest at a key resistance level that's a good mean point for some behavior in either direction, to make money in either direction if that's possible with Cronos. And I think we probably rally off of like a trough on the cusp of November, December. We probably rally pretty hard into a highest high again, or close to a highest high. Like a very prominent high here at the end of the year, and a cash out opportunity. Off of the low, there's sideways rotation, a big move higher, and then more sideways rotation at a higher price level. And we have 3 crisscrosses back and forth through the same price level, confirming a bullish trend as we exit into 2025, where we should see a period of sideways rotation with a sharp dip that stands out in that period of sideways rotation. So really, overall trend, it looks like we go from a high to, like, we do kind of like a U shape and come back to possibly to a high in August, May, but it's probably not as high. It could be, but it's probably not. And then we decline to a low there, and we probably see that low again in October. And then we have this off of the out of the decline, we have this end of a decline with a fast sudden move higher that takes us to another high there towards the end of the year. That's Cronos for 2024, my friends. Let me know what you think by hitting that like button. And as always, make sure to follow that rule of karma, guys. It's super important. It's the most important part of the channel. Make sure to follow here on our resources tab of the website Tarot for Traders, where we ask that you donate 5% of the profits from the information on this channel forward to one of these charities, and 5% of the profits back to the channel here at one of these links. That leaves you with 90% of the money left over. Make sure you spend that money out of love. As long as you follow those rules, that's the rule of karma for the channel. The universe is going to send it back to you tenfold through this channel, my friends. If you're interested in the paid version, you can also check that out under SOMeta posts. 1 year report. Click here and specify you'll specify the ticker. I need to log in, so I'm not going to bother, but you specify the ticker and the year, and you get that within 2 weeks. Thanks for watching, my friends. Stay tuned if you got the paid version.